What mind-blowing but simple facts would satisfy a 4-year-old daughter's daily request for one fact before bedtime? Dogs can tell when you're coming home by how much of your scent is left in the house if you have a daily routine. Dogs have a sense of time beyond its relation to smells lingering. As anecdotal evidence, I feed my dogs at 8 in the evening every day. If I forget, right around 8:15 they will get up and start badgering me until they get fed. Also, I get up at 9 a.m. for work every day. I let them out at that time. On the weekends, when I really want to be sleeping in, 9 a.m. without fail they are up and grabbing chew toys and squeaking them in my ear until I get up. Persistent bastards. That's because they can smell time. Most people have more than the average number of arms. At first I was like, oh, a troll comment. But then I realized some people have less than 2 arms, making the average less than 2. Nice one. A day on Venus takes longer to complete than a year on Venus. How? It simply takes longer for Venus to do one complete rotation around its own axis than it does for the planet to rotate around the Sun. Edit. From my memory I believe it's only like 10 to 15 days difference. But still an interesting fact. Another fun fact is aluminum used to be such a precious metal, and so expensive, that the top point of the Washington Monument is made of pure aluminum. At the time of construction, that aluminum would be about like capping it with platinum today. Otters have skin pockets for their favorite rocks. They are also surprisingly vicious. The reason that they're so playful is because they're such efficient killing machines that they have extra time to spend on things besides hunting. But that's a much less 4-year-old friendly fact. I think I read that they have to eat like 25% of their weight daily. You'd have to be a killing machine to achieve that. Otters are neat. The name for the Arctic comes from the ancient Greek word for bear, Arctos. Named after one of the constellations Ursa Major Big Bear or Ursa Minor Little Bear. But there are bears living there too. So basically, the Arctic is called bear, and the Antarctic is called not bear. Edit. Slight fact correction. Thanks you/Wolfie Rampant. Cashews come from a fruit. The fruit is edible but apparently hard to transport long distances. So the only places you're likely to find it are where cashews are grown. They also don't grow inside the fruit. They're on top of it, like a sort of ridiculous hat. Edit. Not on top. Underneath. My bad. Either the fruit is the ridiculous hat or the nut is either a set of testicles or, as somebody below me said, a massive dump. Edit. Wow. Gold. Thanks a heap. Cashew juice is quite popular on Brazil. But I can't remember how it tastes like. A Siamese cat's fur color is dependent on its body temperature. That's why the colder areas of the body such as the nose, paws, and tail are darker than the rest. Most elephants weigh less than a blue whale's tongue. I guess I'm for, because I'm loving all the fun facts in this thread. Some species of burrowing spiders keep teeny tiny frogs in their burrows to keep it free of bugs too small for the spider to get that might try to eat the spider's eggs. This means that tiny frogs are spider cats. Yes. I love it when my cat saves my human eggs from being eaten by tiny bugs. Mine are about to hatch soon. From the time Pluto was discovered until the time it was demoted from planethood, it still hadn't made one complete revolution around the Sun. 73 years from 1933 to 2006 out of a 248-year orbit. In Switzerland, It's illegal to own just one guinea pig. If you have any, you have to have at least two. They get lonely. Can confirm. I have 3 poop machines running around. 2 poop machines here. They some nasty lil guys. But they're adorable. I use the vacuum more on their cage than on the rest of the house. I really hope you have a HEPA filter vacuum. Otherwise I worry you're putting a lot of poop dust into your air. Yep, I do. Bees tell their friends about good nearby flowers by dancing. And if you feed them cocaine they will exaggerate the amount of flowers and sometimes say they've found flowers when they actually haven't, just like humans. Probably not suitable for a 4-yo, but it's cool to know we're not so different to bees. Maybe they're saying cocaine, not flowers. I once told my son that there was a scientist for everything. So we started a tradition where he'd pick something to see if there were people that studied it. And I'd give some age-appropriate examples of what they do. Edit. Thank you for the silver. Might suggest the study of metals and alloys and when we use what kind. He's always talking about the different eras of human history: primitive age, modern age, future age, etc. So it'd be a good segue to Iron Age, Bronze Age. Editing again to add. Since it's been mentioned in so many replies. Apparently the podcastologies is like this. May not have the most family-friendly vocabulary. But I don't know, I haven't listened to any of it. My daughter 5 decided that when she grows up, she wants to rescue sea animals. We had a good discussion yesterday about some of the neat things she could see and do in that type of job. We talked about how there is a lot of trash in the ocean and how it affects the animals. We talked about oil spills and cleaning the sea creatures after. We talked about dolphins getting tangled in fishing nets. We even talked about how we haven't fully explored the oceans yet and there could be new creatures that no one has ever seen. It was a really cool conversation to have with her. My daughter's 2.5 and I can't wait to be able to have these kinds of conversations with her. A lot of the TV or internet videos she watches comes via undersea cables. That's because the undersea cables are faster than satellite. Also wait. What? Thought. There's an island in Japan populated only by fluffy bunnies. Been there. It's the most amazing place on earth, bunny owner. And there are ruins there from chemical weapons testing facilities. Edit. I just threw some of the photos into Imgur. The building in the world with the most toilets is Wembley Stadium. Cows get excited when they solve puzzles. The filling in a Kit Kat is broken up Kit Kats. One time a guy ate an aeroplane. It took him several years but he did it. The little jump guinea pigs do when they're happy is called popcorning. When a cat walks towards you with its tail up, that means it likes you and is excited to see you. Elephants have a noise that means there are bees here, let's leave immediately. They played golf on the moon one time. I will add more if I think of them. What topics does she like? But what was used for the filling of the first Kit Kat? The first Kit Kats were filled with Kit Kats from the future. That's where Schrödinger's cat went? Brigadier Sir Nils Olav is a king penguin. He is Colonel-in-Chief of the Norwegian King's Guard, as well as the mascot. He currently lives in the Edinburgh Zoo in Scotland. So Scotland is currently holding a Norwegian colonel as a prisoner of war? Pineapples are a collection of berries. Bananas are berries too. And they grow on banana plants, not banana trees. I used to work in a fruit and veg shop as a teenager. We had a woman come in once complaining that all the melons had a dirty mark on them. I explained that's because they grow on the ground, just like a potato or a carrot being covered in earth. She didn't believe me. She thought melons hung from trees. I'm sure googling the phrase hanging melons would only reinforce this idea. I was curious as to what would come up if I looked at this. I was surprised to find only one picture of boobs clothed. The rest were actually melons hanging. Giraffe tongues are black to protect from sunburn as they are out so much during the day. Sun's out. Tongues out. What mind-blowing but